Hello everyone, welcome to another Drooms webinar. This time as part of our series, The Life of Brian and his Seamless Asset Documentation Toolkit. Today we start with Never Again Lost in Translation, how to stay on track with a pan-European setup. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Michelle and I'm from the business development team at Drooms here in London, and I'm happy to spend the next 20 minutes with you. I'm accompanied by my Slovak colleague Alexandra, who is a Drooms project manager based in Barcelona, and she's providing high-quality assistance to our clients and helping me today navigating through the presentation and later also through the platform. She's currently sharing her screen. Alexandra, thanks for that. If there are any questions, please submit them here in our Livestorm question field in the question section. I will pick them up at the end of the session or even after the webinar, depending on how much time we will have left at the end. To allow a little bit of entertainment and to create a representative use case, our webinar series is focusing on Brian, who is a fund manager, and the challenges he's facing nowadays. We will see how he will be assisted by one of the Drooms products called Drooms Portfolio, providing technology and services to the users. I'm pretty sure many of the challenges will sound familiar to you, and I hope you can feel for Brian and build the bridge over to your current setup. So what are we going to look at today? We are going to start with a brief introduction. We are going to look at the challenges Brian is facing with his pan-European fund setup. We're going to have a look at Drooms Portfolio and when, where, and how the product is assisting Brian with the technology, services, and the value add. So let us start with a few market insights, also to understand why today's topic is actually relevant. Several said in 2021, European cross-border investments are anticipated to increase between 10 to 15% year-on-year to circa 120 billion euros due to the ever-growing appetite for European real estate. BNP Paribas Real Estate published the following in August 2020. Real estate investors, by their very nature, tend to view property as a long-term investment, so are not likely to take a knee-jerk reaction to the current environment. Great news, you are the experts, and I believe you can hopefully confirm that from your own activities. We can see a strong market and a stable, even growing cross-border investments. But what does all this actually have to do with Brian, our lovely fund manager, who's here, as you can see, enjoying a nice glass of wine? He's managing a pan-European fund and he's pretty pleased with the market updates. But his multinational setup comes with quite a few challenges as well. Due to the current COVID situation, traveling, for example, for site visits is really not possible, especially not across borders. That's also why communication and virtual communication and exchange is even more important. And language barriers can make the cooperation and the collaboration challenging, costly, and frustrating. Brian is facing issues with the decentralized documentation storage, different standards across operating partners in multinational organizations spread all across Europe. There's also a very high demand for transparency among stakeholders. These are the challenges you might even share with Brian. So let's see how Drooms can assist with these pain points. And today we would like to look at a product called Drooms Portfolio. So first of all, what is Drooms Portfolio? Drooms Portfolio is a cloud storage and sharing solution, and a bit more in detail, it is an intelligent and secure portfolio management data room that allows a fast and secure management of multiple assets through their whole phase under one umbrella. As a keynote, I'd like to mention that this is just one of the use cases, the most common one. There are many others out there, but today we really would like to focus on Brian and his needs. Brian could also be, for example, a portfolio or an asset manager. He doesn't need to be a fund manager. The Drooms Portfolio centralizes data in a secure and structured way for the whole life cycle of assets within a fund. And it is also increasing transparency, reactivity, and the speed at which the assets can be moved. The platform, generally speaking, is minimizing risks by enabling better control and delivers process automation at scale with next generation tools, which you will hopefully experience today with me. A bit more in specific, we would like to understand how the Drooms Portfolio can assist with the pan-European setup, which features and also which services are making Brian's life easier. First of all, that's the user interface language choice. Then also a translation in-house built feature, and multilingual customer support and local offices. I would suggest let's dive right into the platform and have a closer look. I would like to show you the value add provided by Drooms, assisting Brian with his fund in a very smart data room. Unfortunately, I do not have a mustache available here, but please imagine me being Brian now, accessing Drooms and my portfolio data room dedicated to my fund, which is a hotel portfolio. What you can see here is the login window. Alexandra is sharing her screen. I don't even need a VPN connection, just a stable Wi-Fi. I can actually even save my password, as you can see here, and then simply log in. What you can see now is basically an overview of the data rooms that I have access to. And we are going to hop straight into our hotel portfolio, which is our umbrella data room holding all and covering all the related assets. A quick introduction for the ones that haven't seen Drooms yet or don't know how data room looks like. On the left-hand side, we have the data room overview. We have a reporting section available and the user section. The look and feel is pretty much always the same. Cockpit on the left-hand side. And in my case, as Brian, with my hotel portfolio, the single tiles that you can see here are representing the single assets. My hotel portfolio contains 5 hotels based in 5 different countries. I've uploaded some photos in the exposés to make the display a bit more welcoming. And if we look at our Paris hotel here in France, you can see I actually even uploaded a couple of different impressions of the hotel and a brief description just to make it a bit more nicer here. And all this is fully customizable. All right, since we just accessed our portfolio, I can see that there is an icon notifying me about the fact that something has happened in the asset. So I would like to access my Spanish asset now straight away in order to see my index tree containing all the documentation in a very nice and clear display. As you can see here, we have an index structure in place. And I actually would like to know what happened since I last logged into this data room. So I'm simply accessing my notifications and I can see a new file has been made available. I'm intrigued to know more. So what I'd like to do now is I would like to add additional columns to my index structure because I'd like to know when exactly this file has been last modified and who uploaded it. I can see now the file has been uploaded by Michelle yesterday evening. All right, but what is this file actually about? So we simply double click on it and then we'll have a display on the right-hand side. And you can now see how easy it is to navigate through the file. We are simply hopping into another page. I'd like to see page 16. And I've actually realized this file is in Spanish, which is really inconvenient because my Spanish is terrible. So I think I need help. And this is where Drooms can assist. We simply translate the document into English right into the platform. And I'd like to mention a bit of background information here, because translating a document in Drooms means that the file never leaves the data room. The document is translated in-house and it stays within the secure environment. Any document in a supported file format that is uploaded to the data room is running through an optical character recognition and then can be translated as long as, obviously, it contains meaningful text. As a side note, I'd like to mention that we do not provide a legally binding translation. This would obviously require translation professionals and legal experts, but still we are saving time and money by using the Drooms translation. And it gives me, Brian, as a non-Spanish speaker, an understanding of the context. Other than Spanish, Drooms supports French, Dutch, Italian, English, German, and Arabic, but we're going to stick to Spanish here in our example. What I'd like to do now is I would simply like to split my screen, split the view to compare the original document and the translated version at the same time. And Alexandra is going to do that for me quickly. Going to zoom in, and we have both documents visible. Now that I've reviewed this file, I can see there's a section I actually need to discuss with my Spanish asset manager, Pablo. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a bookmark in order to find the section in the document again at a later stage, which can be considered a note to myself. And I should get in touch with Pablo straight away. So I'm going to add my bookmark to discuss with Pablo, save it. Okay. I know Pablo's really busy, so I should definitely hurry up in getting meeting booked in. So Drooms is offering me a messaging service, allowing me to shoot a message via the user section of the data room. For this, we have to leave our document and go back to our tile view, where we have the data rooms displayed, and we are hopping into our user section. And here you can see we have our Spanish asset management team in charge of the hotel in Barcelona, Maria and Pablo. I will select Pablo and simply right-click to shoot him a message. There's no need to access Outlook. I don't need to draft an email. I simply write him a message here, set up a meeting this week. And I'm going to leave a message here. Can we please virtually meet this week? Best for me would be Friday afternoon. Gracias, Brian. Gracias is also the only Spanish word I speak. So I'm going to send my message. The message will be saved and archived in the messaging reporting in our report section of the data room and can be accessed at any time. As you can see here, simply run the report and have all messages tracked and traced. Just to let you know, the sender of the message that will reach Pablo is Drooms. Pablo is very reliable, and I'm definitely looking forward to meeting him, and I'm pretty sure he will be available this week. Let's hop back into our user section. I'd like to show you that Pablo and Maria here in our asset management team Spain have both full access to the Barcelona asset. I've set the permissions for them previously already, which allows me to delegate work. They're both fully responsible for keeping the asset data up to date and to populate the data room with any missing files. That's why they have the full edit rights, as you can see here in the overview. But this is also the only bit they are supposed to work on. That's why they have no access to any other assets. Okay, there's one more task for me to complete today. We decided to replace our German external property management service provider, and we've decided to work with a new partner. So I need to block the access of the German property management firm to the data room because our contractual partnership has ended today. So I'm simply going to right-click and block the access. We will now work with a new company called the Best German Property Managers. I am going to create a completely new user group here, the Best German Property Managers. And I have two users I'd like to invite already. The first one is best@test.de. And we have a second user, best2@test.de. As we already had a property management team in place, we can simply copy over the permissions, which is done here. And we are going to send the invite to the user group in German. Another feature showing us how flexible we are with our language settings, making it easy for the newbies because they will receive the invite in German, very welcoming. Okay, we've been speaking about delegating tasks within the team by granting edit rights to the asset managers, for example. But let's also have a look quickly at how we can benefit from the Drooms support and to enjoy the Drooms features and tech functionalities and to use them best and to work obviously also most efficiently within the data room. We generally speaking recommend new Drooms users to join a brief 30 minutes demo session, training session with all the tricks and tips that are super helpful. But not only that, the Drooms team knows Brian and his team best, and they know how the data room is organized and structured. And the asset documentation index tree that you've seen has been mapped out in a teamwork with Brian and the Drooms team. And as part of the onboarding of a new joiner in Brian's team or any external operating partner, we definitely recommend to align with the Drooms project manager. And that's where Alexandra and her team comes into play. I'm going to access now the help section. This is where I can help and where I can reach out to the Drooms team in the support area. I simply drop a message. We need to book a training and an onboarding session with the new property management team in Germany. Can you please arrange that? Great. This message enters a mailbox that is covered 24/7 by the multinational Drooms support team. The task will then get assigned to the project manager who's in charge and who will then also pick it up and coordinate with the parties required. The administrators of the data room, in our case, Brian, will be kept in the loop and will also be informed about anything that's going on. As the new property managers, in our example, the new team is based in Germany. The project manager here of the data room would involve the German-speaking colleagues in order to obviously book in a training session in German. And once COVID comes to an end, which is hopefully rather sooner than later, we could even arrange a little training session in the office to bring the teams physically together. All Drooms customer service and project managers are trained and Drooms own personnel, and they work closely with the account managers and the product development team. Service is key, and we are happy to assist Brian and his team as much as possible, especially when it comes to a pan-European setup. Any assistance helping overcoming language barriers and maybe even culture barriers is super beneficial. And we do focus on a great technology, but it clearly goes beyond. To finish off the multi-language topic, I'd like to show you the language user interface settings. I hope I did well in playing Brian, but you might have heard from my accent, I'm German myself. And when navigating through a platform, I like to use the German interface also to save time and nerves. And this can be done here, as you can see, just like change to German. And that's it. To summarize what we've seen, the Drooms portfolio can provide value with regards to a pan-European setup and the challenges Brian is facing with the following. First of all, you can complete tasks more efficiently by navigating through the platform in your native language. Then you can review files, data in general faster, and track potential risks and opportunities by translating files right within the data room. And last but not least, an international team based all across Europe in local offices with a support team speaking several languages covering many nationalities is very, very helpful. But before I let you go and we finish off today's webinar, there's one last thing I would like to speak about, which is not linked to the language topic anymore, but it still refers to a pan-European setup. And that's our Drooms portfolio billing model. You can see a very unhappy Brian here. I spoke about the Drooms portfolio of being able to manage multiple assets under one umbrella and to centralize the data in a structured and secure way. But when it comes to billing models, flexibility is definitely key. And your fund might have SPVs set up for the individual assets, which require then a separate invoice to be issued to the entities rather than a global one. Without a Drooms flexible billing model, the invoice would need to be processed on a portfolio level and would then need to be manually allocated to the single entities, which is causing a lot of delays and frustration, especially for Brian and his finance team. And this is where the Drooms flexible billing model is kicking in. The assets invoices are generated individually and then sent to the responsible SPVs. And you can see Brian is very happy with that. All right, great. I would like to come to an end. The pan-European setup and the toolkit was today's focus, but that's not all Drooms portfolio has to offer. That's also why I'd like you to sign up for the next 2 webinars to learn a bit more about additional Drooms portfolio features, such as artificial intelligence used to structure and organize the data room, which is something Richard is going to present on the 10th of March. And then we will have another webinar regarding transaction readiness on the 24th of March. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you there. And if there are any questions, now is the time to ask. But I believe there should be only one question, which is where and how can I book a Drooms portfolio solution? Let me just have a brief look. Do we have any questions? Seems like people are shy today, which is not a problem at all. Just drop me an email or call me and I'm happy to discuss any further topics, questions, whatever is in your mind. And I think then we're good to go. And I wish you a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for your time and thanks for joining me. Oh, I actually see a question here. Let me see while we are still live. How fast can you set up the portfolio? Straight away. So that's the advantage here at Drooms. We are very flexible. We have a great customer service team. So the portfolio can easily be set up straight away. We just recommend to align with the team in order to discuss the index structure and obviously the different user groups that are supposed to work in a portfolio, but we are very fast and it's very easy. Is there another question? I can see here another question, where are your servers? So we have a server set up in Germany, a geo-redundant one. There are also servers in Switzerland in case that's preferred. We can easily also host the data in Switzerland. GDPR compliant. Can you support on digitizing documents? Yes, we can. We do have a structuring and servicing team in Germany that is happy to assist also with digitizing work. So please feel free to get in touch if there are any detailed questions. All right, cool. That's it. 11:20. I'll let you go. Thank you very, very much and have a great day.